Hello, everyone. Good morning. John Boyle, get us going.
Yeah, Mike, there's been a few late game situations this year where you've brought pressure in big moments. What does that say about the faith you have in the guys on the back end? And there are a couple times they win at Riq and different games just to hold up because obviously if you bring that pressure, that can leave them in tough spots.
Yeah, just finished with Brock and Salk with a similar question. It you have to have we have faith in our guys in those critical moments. I mean, shoot, they're the ones really that are asking for those aggressive type calls, so they're the ones that make it come to life. And we're not married to those types of plays. We just so happen we've had we brought some pressure in some of those moments, but we're always just thinking through the lens of what we feel like it's going to give our guys the best chance to win that situation, help us go win the game.
Masvita.
Hey, Mike, elegant simplicity. Could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, in short, it's we want it to look complex to our opponents and keep it simple for us. And then there's a way that you can structure your systems and how you teach it and wording that there's an art to it where we believe that if you can do it better than others. So it's about doing simple stuff better than your competition, and then you can dress it up, and that's how you create great systems and great teams and great schemes and make it come to life on Sunday.
And then one more. What did you see? You have a lot of leaders, and you've told us that. What did you see from your leaders this week, just to prepare, and this quick turnaround?
Yeah, they've been like this. They're steadfast in our mission, and they're driving our team right now. So really pleased with our leadership on our football team, and we'll be counting them again this week and moving forward.
Greg.
Good morning, Mike.
Hey.
How alarming was last night's on offense?
I wouldn't call it alarming. It wasn't up to our standard on our production, how we want to operate. But we did do the things we needed to do to win the game. We played a little bit of the field position game in the second half. We finally flipped field position. Told Brock and Salk the game kind of declared there in the second half on how we had to play. So. Slowed it down a little bit, and became a field position game, which it'd been in our territory most of the game. So I would have liked for us to be able to get it out in some of those situations. But when we did, in the latter part of the game going into the last drive, that was big for us, to make Chicago have to go, 30 or 40 yards instead of just 10 or 15.
And how much is Kenny McIntosh earning a more prominent role? And I heard you mention a half hour ago that you challenged him to stay ready. How did you do that, and why?
Yeah, he has. I mean, he's earned a bigger role, and we need him right now. That's where we stand with Ken Walker's situation. And I didn't want to make too much of it with Ken, but Kenny McIntosh. But when you're not a starter, and you don't get that many reps, when you do get reps, they're at a premium, and you got to keep showing that you're ready to go. And there's a couple reps here and there throughout the season, and he was great. He's a hard worker. He's tough, but sometimes guys, they just need a little reminder, what they're battling for. That the competition is still there, even though, we're not talking about actual snaps on Sunday, and he's done a great job of earning a bigger role by week.
And when you say you challenge him, how do you do that? You just go up to him and say, "Hey, you got to buck up and earn this," or
no,
do it, or what?
Yeah, you have your style of how you're going to talk to your guys, and there's different ways to do it. A lot of times it's me having a conversation with them. Sometimes it's other coaches, but yeah, it's just having a relationship with your guys, understanding how they tick, and trying to figure out a way what's the best way to connect with them.
Thank you,
Tim.
Mike, I saw you gave a game ball to Jarran Reed after the game last night. I'm just wondering, both him and Leonard, to be playing this well, maybe at this stage of their careers or this far into their careers, what do you feel like has been unlocked to allow them to kind of stand out the way they have, not only last night, but most of the season?
the question is, what allows them to play well later in the year, or what?
Just it seems like both those guys have taken their game to another level this season
Uh-huh.
in some ways. I'm just wondering what do you feel like has allowed that to happen for them, and then then to have a performance like last night.
Okay, yeah, I got you. I think. I mean, it's funny. You're talking guys that are in double digits in years in the league, and they're proving the whole philosophy of like sticking to the process and doing the things day in and day out, and you should experience growth as a player. It doesn't really matter where you are in your career, and I think both have really bought into what we're trying to achieve here competitively, day in, day out, and then being able to stack all these reps of playing next to one another and understanding where we're going to be, how we need to play together. And then Jay Reed and Leo. I mean, those two guys are two of our biggest leaders on our team, especially in the front. I mean, Jay Reed's we don't call him the OG of that room. I mean, he understands what he wants it to look like. The guys follow him, and he kind of sets the tone for that room right now, and we appreciate that from him. That's why we love him.
Michael, Sean?
You guys. There we go.
Michael, Sean?
Can you hear me, Mike?
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay, sorry about that. When you look at the situation you guys are in now, needing Arizona to win or getting a bunch of other wins, when you look back, what would you say is the primary reason you guys don't control your own fate right now?
Well, I think it's fair criticism to say that our record could be better right now. It isn't. You can't like cry over spilled milk. But I mean, if you ask me this at any point where hey we can't control our destiny, we didn't perform as well as we need to or to our standard all the time. Otherwise we'd be sitting here. We'd be 16-0. So it's like that's just. But that's the NFL, and it's a roller coaster. You gotta learn from stuff. You gotta evolve. You gotta grow. That's what our focus has been as a team. I don't think we would be standing here having this conversation, still having life, if we didn't do those things throughout the year. But yeah, there's some moments throughout the year where you felt like, man, that was an opportunity for us to take advantage of, and we didn't do it.
Jen?
Did they get all that? You guys get all that? Did you get that, Michael, Sean?
No.
Can you hear him?
Can you guys hear us?
You guys got me now?
Now we can hear you, yes.
Okay. What's the last thing that you heard? Did you get that whole answer?
Maybe like a couple of words. Yeah.
That's all you needed?
Maddie later,
No,
I
I'm just
guess.
kidding. Let's make sure we're good, and then I'll re-answer it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna log off and come back in. 'Cause this is
Okay.
insane. Just tell him we'll be back.
We'll be
right back.
We'll be right back.
Okay, can you guys hear us now? Jen?
Well,
Yeah. You can go back and answer Michael Sean's again.
yeah, MAC. There you go. All right, Mike. I'm gonna answer your question now. You good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yep, I got you.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. I thought it was a pretty good answer, so I'm gonna try to recreate it here. First, I would say, yeah, it's if we didn't, I mean, you're always gonna, if you're not in charge of your own destiny, you're always gonna think of moments that you felt like you could have taken advantage of better to put yourself in a better position. But that's always going to be the case. Otherwise, we'd be sitting here at at 16-0, just thinking that we're the best thing since sliced bread. So that's kind of where we're at, and it's not an ideal situation, but I do feel that we probably wouldn't have won some games as well and put ourselves in a situation if we didn't learn and evolve and grow and stick together and kind of stick to the process about how we want to be as a team, and being able to get through those ebbs and flows of the season. So, yeah, but absolutely. I mean, there's times that you think throughout the year we felt like we could have taken advantage of to put ourselves in a better position going into the last week.
Are there any that stand out?
Yeah, I mean, like any loss, you're going to think what you could have done throughout the game. So name a loss, and I can tell you what we could have done better and how we could have taken advantage of it. So, anytime we take the field, we're going to expect to win the game, and we're going to try to do those things necessary to win. And when we don't, that's when you have to learn from it. But it's, yeah, there's some losses. All the losses, you're really thinking, shoot. I mean, those sting. You know, that's the fact of the reality.
Thank you.
Jen?
And yet, Coach, with that win last night, you secure a winning season in your first year. So how far does that go in the process and in laying that foundation?
It's right now. It's told me we've won enough to have the chance to win one more for the chance to go win in the playoffs. That's really, I mean, that's as simple as it is. And to Michael's question, we wish we would have won more. You know, we want to win every time we step on the field. But, you know, to be sitting here with a week left and still have life, we've done some things. And I feel like we've grown. Fallen short, you know, several times, and but we've gotten up and dusted ourselves off and kept moving forward.
And every game is, you know, some of it you're just banking experiences that you can draw on next time. When you think about last night's game, what specifically can anybody who was on the field last night draw from in future situations?
Well, it's the guys who are put in a tough spot. You're not guaranteed. You know, you're not. You know, holding your own destiny. So, what are you going to go play for? You know, how are you going to go on a short week, go across the country, go play the right way, battle adversity throughout the game, stick together, fight through it? How are you going to do all that when you know, like, playoff implications aren't necessarily on the line? So that tells me our guys are connected and they're tough and they're playing for one another. And I think that's pretty awesome.
John?
Yeah, Mike, we don't always maybe talk about the specialists a ton, but in a low-scoring game like that, what kind of role does, you know, Jason making his kicks, Mike flipping the field?
Yeah, it was critical. Just rewatching Jason's both his kicks this morning. I mean, the rain was coming down a little bit heavier than it felt like. You know, that's a tough kick, and there's some wind up there, and the operation needs to be right. Field goal protection was good, so that was critical. And then, you know, we talked about how the game was a field position game, and you know, I thought Michael Dickson played a tremendous game as well. Like the hang time, giving our opportunity for our punt coverage unit to get down the field. Riq Young's a guy that sticks out that played really well at gunner. I know Julian made a big play on Julian. Kenny Mac made a big time punt tackle. So, I mean, those are really, really critical plays throughout a game you don't necessarily think of. So appreciate the question. So that was big for us.
Brady?
Hey, Mike, you told us recently that the coaching point with Riq Woolen was to be locked in on every play. The last couple games, what have you thought of the way he's played in general, but specifically with that coaching point as well?
Well, I'll speak to last game. I thought Riq played a really strong game. Thought he played a really strong game. Thought he was sound. He played poised, played fast. Assignments, it just felt like he was on his stuff. So I thought he had a really, really good football game. Definitely winning football for us to help us win, and then top it off with the interception at the end was just that's kind of a sneaky tough play when the ball's in the air that long and high pointing it and doing all those things as well. I thought was great to see.
With Ken Walker, obviously he's going to have to miss the 4 games, so you guys would have to make a deep run for him to be eligible to come back. But if that happens, is that something he could come back from, or is that ankle injury, is that going to end his season?
I would love to see him come back ready to roll. Let's go have that problem come NFC Championship time. But we got to get there first. But I know I'm sure holding out hope to see him again.
Okay, then one more, since it looks like nobody's behind me. What did this past Monday look like? It sounds like you guys switched some things up and did a recovery day. What did that look like compared to what you guys have done on Mondays heading into Thursday games?
Yeah, normally we would start a little bit later on a Monday and have some sort of structured meetings with walkthrough of some sort, and then you're deciding whether you want to ratchet it up a little bit on Tuesday and then your Wednesday. But some guys came to me earlier last week, Matt Capurro, Jake Pete, Sam Ramsden, and just understood kind of where we're at in the season, and just the fact that we kind of can collaborate like that and bring some good ideas to the table and what we felt the team needed. I felt like that was really cool that we came up with a good schedule for the guys and able to get some structured recovery in, and I think that was good for us. I think that helped us.
Thank you.
Greg?
Mike, there's a scenario out there. I think that the Detroit-San Francisco game Monday night could have an effect on your situation in tiebreakers. When are you expecting the league will tell you when you're playing, Saturday or Sunday against the Rams?
The way I understand it now, I'm anticipating them letting us know on Sunday. That's all I know.
Sunday.
I'm sorry?
End of game Sunday, like Sunday night?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Okay.
I know this is on tape, but don't quote me on that. But that's my understanding.
Right. The reason I ask is it? I guess it's possible. You'd have to do it if they made you, but it would be suboptimal to not know by at least the end of Sunday if you had to play 6 days later, right?
Well, I think that's why they're probably on that time schedule. Right now, we're operating under the assumption that we're going to be playing on Saturday because that's the earliest we can play. So that's how we have a kind of a secondary plan if we play Sunday. Right now we're operating as if we're going to play on Saturday.
Okay, thank you.
Masvida?
Hey, Mike, how would you assess the overall play of the offensive line? You get 122 yards rushing. Gino gets sacked 3 times, and yet I think you mentioned last night you just couldn't finish the drives. Just your overall assessment of the O-line.
Yeah, I think you got it surrounded there. I mean, did a lot of good things to run the ball and move some people when we needed to. I felt like there's some meat left on the bone in the run game that we can tighten that up and keep chasing. And then, yeah, you're right. Just when we get the ball in plus territory as a whole offense, let's keep it. Let's finish that thing in the end zone.
Anything else? All right. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you here Monday.
All right. Travel safe, guys. Thanks.